Hey everybody, we are going to take a trip today out to the Annapolis Valley and we're going to go out to the Lookoff, hopefully see some cool stuff. Come along. Alright, the first part of our trip is to get out to the Annapolis Valley. I don't know if you can hear me, but it is super windy out here today. And the wind is just buffeting off the helmet and pushing us around the road a little bit. It's also a little bit of construction, so that's always fun too. High speeds, cross breeze, fresh tar. We are off that very windy highway now and on a nice, quiet secondary highway. Just passing by Prairie. One of the great things about the Annapolis Valley is it's chock full of wineries and places that make cider. Prairie is a UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Grand Derangement, the great expulsion of the Acadians from Nova Scotia a couple of hundred years ago. The English rounded up all of the Acadians and shipped them off. Many of them landed, or at least stopped, in Louisiana in the United States, and that's where the Cajuns came from, and that's why there's a little bit of French in Louisiana, and it sounds a little bit like the French around here. Hey, sheep! Horses. Here we are in Wolfville, home of Acadia University. Just missed some shots of a nice winery. Perhaps we'll see some more vineyards. If you've never been to Wolfville, you need to know that nothing happens very fast in Wolfville, including the traffic. I don't think they have a single traffic light, and pedestrians just kind of cross wherever they want. And if you're a pedestrian and just walking on the sidewalk, there's a good chance that some elderly driver will just randomly stop in the middle of the road in case you feel like crossing. I will say it's a little frustrating. But it is a lovely town. It's where all the hippies came and settled and opened up painting studios and art shops. Also the home to the Valley Harvest Marathon every fall. And this pretty amazing place coming up here on the left, which because of traffic you'll get a good view of. This is the Church Brewing Company. mention that traffic is very slow in Wolfville? I think I did. Just for reference, it is a Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock at the end of August. So that half a kilometer stretch of highway, or road, I suppose, is probably the most painful one in Wolfville. Here we have Acadia University on the left, and the field house on the right. There we got some apple trees. Have to look for the vineyards. And we got corn. Traveling now into what they call the Dyke Lands, which is an area of extremely fertile soil that the Acadians, when they settled here, constructed dikes to keep the ocean out. And now this is one of the most fertile places in Nova Scotia for growing fruits, vegetables, grapes for wine. Hopefully we'll get a view of some of the tidal rivers in this area. Completely dry when the tide is out and completely swollen when the tide is in. Here's a good one right here. I'm not sure how much of that you can see. Just off to the right here, you can take any of these streets and find yourself an orchard to go picking apples, pears. There's a nice windy bit of road up here that takes us up to the Lookoff. I've done it a couple of times on a bicycle, and I would far prefer doing it on a motorized vehicle. But I do love some of the views in here of the farmland. And the nice windy roads. We can see up on top of that hill up there. That's where we'll be going. The Lookoff is another one of those iconic views of Nova Scotia that everybody takes a day trip up and gets their picture in front of this amazing view of the valley. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go up this big windy road and get some nice pictures. There we go, folks. Big hill straight up. that's where we're going. That was a nice little pit stop. And now we are off to Halls Harbour, which I'm hoping the tide is out, because it's a pretty spectacular place to take pictures if the tide's out. But it might not be. You get what you get. One of the great things about driving around with a GoPro on your helmet is it's a good conversation starter. We happened to meet an older couple as we were up at the Lookoff, and you know, whenever anybody is around you and they themselves ride a motorcycle, they come over and have a gawk at yours. Anyway, we chatted with this gentleman for about 5 minutes, and he said that he had taken his bike, his current bike's a Yamaha 1500, that he'd taken it all the way out to Vancouver, down through to Oregon. He's also taken it up to Newfoundland and all the way down to Florida. So he's put a good number of miles over the years. He was a little blown away when I told him that I'd take all the video footage and put it on YouTube for other people to see. Oh, look out there. That's pretty cool. Once again, ran into some old people who told us we should come out to Huntington Point to see some painted houses or something. Obviously not aware of the fact that deep gravel roads aren't super fun on motorcycles. So I guess if we're not going to white knuckle it on the highway in the wind, we're going to white knuckle it on the gravel.
One eternity later.
This is kind of neat out here, whatever this is. Oh, cool. Like in there? That's really cool. What is this actually? Oh, okay. Dead end road, no turnaround, no parking. Neat. This is quite an adventure today. Well, the kindly old lady may not know what's fun and what isn't to ride on in terms of terrain when you're riding a motorcycle, but she does know how to provide good blog fodder, because that was pretty cool. Heading now into Kentville for one final stop for gas, and then heading back home. As always, I'd like to thank you for hanging out with me today. I am Shoreline Rider. Remember to comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and hit that bell icon if you would like to be notified of future content. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.